There is a shift that sometimes happens as you begin to lock into who you are when you actually change your reality. But there are things that's going to happen to you when a woman starts to realize you're putting yourself first. But let me be clear from the jump, people. The moment that you decide to put yourself first, everything around you is going to change, especially her. You see, this isn't about being selfish. This isn't about ego because I do have one of those. This is about, for the first time in your life, being one thought, one mind, one way. This is about alignment. You were never built as a person to, like I said before, orbit around her world. You were meant to build your own. And if she's lucky, keyword lucky, she actually gets an invitation to come inside. See, most men out here, they don't live that way. They orbit around her, they bend around her, they compromise around her. And in doing so, they will always lose the leverage, they will always lose the power, and they will always run behind what she has between her legs. Isn't that amazing that a woman can hold that kind of power over an individual? It just, I don't know, sometimes things like that blow my mind. But the truth is, in all of this, is that a woman herself, she can feel the difference between a man who puts her first and a man who puts himself above all things. You see, when you prioritize yourself and everything around you, your peace, your power, you are always going to send any woman a message. It's kind of like a ripple effect that they don't even notice. It just hits, doesn't even hit them. It actually hits the emotion. It says in its silent tone, you don't complete me because as a man, I'm already whole. And either you're going to come into my world and add some kind of value, or you got to get out. You got to go. And you see, with that kind of that kind of energy and that kind of certainty, it's rare to a woman. It's really magnetic in the sexual way because it changes the whole temperature of the room that you walk into in a mental way. It's beautiful. But here's the part that a lot of people don't talk to you about and a lot of people don't teach you. And I think the world doesn't want you to have this kind of information because when you truly put yourself first, you don't you don't lose anything and you especially don't lose a woman. But the one thing you're going to gain, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, is their obsession. When I was young, I didn't know what obsession was like. Always wanting to be around you, always wanting to hear from you. And for you now, waiting for your text messages, waiting for the next voice message, waiting for the next video, and waiting to go live again so she can slide those panties to the side and play with herself just to please you. See, most women are not used to men not chasing. They're used to the total opposite. They're used to these guys out here asking, you know, what do you want from me? Okay. But when you show up and say, here's who I am and here's where I'm going, and I'm not slowing down for anybody or anything, something inside of her primal, something inside of that emotion that is primal, something awakens inside of her. And the beautiful thing is, for the first time, because you bend and break her reality, she starts adjusting. She starts questioning. And most importantly, she starts submitting. And if she doesn't, you don't chase, you don't fold, you just don't plead because you're already living the life of a man who's one thought, one mind, one way, ruthlessly focused. unfazed by any kind of distractions out there. This chapter here, I'm going to break down exactly what happens when a woman, what happens to her when you make that shift. Because you're going to see 5 things that she's actually going to go through. Someone's going to be emotionally, someone's going to be in her behaviors, someone's going to be actually in her mind. But see, when you bend and break a woman's algorithm, it's new. It's like new land to her. It's a new experience. And when she realizes that you no longer see her as your quote unquote North Star, everything changes. And you need to understand how her emotional system and her emotional reality and her emotional algorithm reacts to the power that you've already reclaimed for yourself. How her femininity either is going to grow with you or collapse under the weight of your standard as a man, one thought, one mind, one way. And why a person who puts himself first becomes the only kind of man, that not the man that she wants, being the only man that she needs in her life. You become the forbidden fruit, the last kind, the thing that she cannot play games with, the person she can't play games with, the person she cannot manipulate. But let's begin with her first level of this algorithm break, because her control, it begins to vanish. And once that is gone, she will never, ever see you the same way again. You see, when her control begins to vanish, gentlemen, that means that the power that she has between her legs that has always controlled the humans out there changes with you. The power that she thought she had, it just evaporates. And see, people know that women's greatest tool isn't her looks, okay? It's actually her sexual influence over the average man's thoughts, influence over the average man's emotions, where his behavior and his time and his attention is all dedicated to trying to please her. And guess what? She doesn't need to demand. It is at that point she can just suggest something or imply something. She's smart enough as a chess player mentally to pull back just to see if you're the kind of person that will chase. She withholds herself just to see if you fold. And guess what? Most men do. It's a shame, but it's just the way the world is. We can't change the humans, and nor will we, because we need them to be able to get the women to see the beauty in us. See, most guys out here have been taught that pleasing a woman, okay, trying to bend over backwards, proving yourself and being available at all times is the right way, in a way where it's like hallmark moment thing to get love and respect. But it's the complete opposite. Women can only control you if you've already made her the center, not of your life, not of your world, but of your universe. But once you begin to look into your own self and connect with yourself, it is in that moment you begin to break the cycle. And once you begin to break that cycle, you yourself, you're going to have a shift in your mindset and your reality. And when you shift your focus back to you, something's going to happen to you, because for the first time in your life, you're going to serve something you should have been serving all your life. And that is your own kingdom. You finally cut the puppet strings above you. And when she starts to realize she can't control you anymore, everything changes. But what does that change? Here's what actually happens, man. It's really funny because at first she'll try to test it. She'll try to say things, because women are smart enough to say things like, "Oh my God, you've changed. Oh, see, that's messed up. You don't care anymore. I don't understand. Why are you so cold? And why are you so distant now?" But what she's really saying is, is why don't I control you like I used to? Why don't I have my foot on your neck from day one like I used to? And your lack of emotional reaction is going to not only frustrate her, but it's going to expose her. And for the first time in her life, she herself, she is going to feel what it's like to be on the other side of the sexual power dynamic. And guess what? Don't be surprised if she gets angry, mad, or bitter. It's the reaction. She's going to try to reel you back in by flirting with other men. Some are going to try to guilt trip you. She might try to pull herself, her body, and everything just to show you, hey, if you don't want this, then I'm going to punish you with sex or without giving you sex. But when you lock into yourself, you're always going to remain unmoved. And if your focus and nobody else stays on who you are and your priorities, that woman is going to feel something that she's not used to feeling with anybody. And that is feeling sexually powerless. Control will always give you everything you want. And when she has control, okay, control gives her and will always give her leverage. But when you take away and you as a man take away and break that algorithm and break her reality and bend it and smash it, it forces her to actually confront the things that happens every day. She has to confront her own insecurities. She has to work to get your attention. She'll have to think about what she is doing and what is she bringing to your kingdom and your empire, because if she doesn't bring the right thing, she will not be a part of your empire. She realizes in the new reality, in the new algorithm, that she has to earn her place in your life instead of being it handed to her like Halloween candy because she has a round ass and perky breasts. This is the beginning of her doing this one thing, and that is emotionally and sexually investing in you. And that's when she starts to wonder, what is it about you? I can't stand you, you asshole, you jerk. You're cocky, you're conceited, you're arrogant. Who do you think you are? God's gift to women? Then she slows down and says, what is so different about this man? I don't get it. Why doesn't he need me? What in the world is he doing? Why isn't he running behind me? And gentlemen, just like that, it becomes a domino effect. Curiosity becomes desire. Frustration becomes sexual attraction. And in this confusion of her new reality, it becomes submission. Because at this point, she knows that in order to grow and be the woman she wants to be, to go to a lady, she can only do it through you, because you're the only one that has the captivity to level her up. And guess what? Some are going to fight you. Some are going to pull away. Some might not want to do anything. And guess what? If she doesn't, cool, she leaves. Let her go. You just saved yourself from years or decades or months of drama, months and years of manipulation, months and years of sexual blackmail. You see, a woman who controls you can never respect you. But a woman who watches you reclaim your power changes everything, because she is either going to elevate to meet your standard or you let her go. But the beautiful thing is, either way, you win. You see, when her control vanishes and goes away. The game begins at this point. And that is when you step into your birthright. You get to sit on your throne and you get to wear your crown. And she will never be someone in your life. She will never be an option. She's a nothing and a nobody. And her only option is going to be, if she ever decides to crawl her ass back, is submitting to you. But then what happens when she does come back or she does submit? It triggers the second one, and that is she begins to work for you. Okay? Now the tables are turned. And the funny thing is, she knows it and she can do nothing about it. See, when you were making her first or zero and running behind her, facing her, texting her, clearing up your schedule, making sure that she is happy, okay? What you did was you gave her a clear signal saying that you're above me and everything I need to do is earn you. And that might be something noble, but man, it is an imbalance because she never valued you. She never respected you because in her mind, you're always trying to work to earn her. And you must believe in your mind that she is more valuable than you. And because she is, I've got to do whatever it takes to keep her. And that thought process instantly puts her in a dominant position in every way. But the moment you flip the formula, when you stop auditioning and start building who the hell you are, you, my friend, reclaim your power. And she starts moving for you because it triggers something in her emotion and in her behavior. You're no longer available on demand. You're no longer validating her just to stay around. You're no longer sacrificing your days if you work out or whatever you do, your job, your workouts, you're hanging out with your friends, whatever. You cut all that out. You stop that because before you were doing those things to make her feel secure. And now you're busy. Now you're focused. And now you're investing in your kingdom and your empire, not her reactions. And that shift alone is going to send shock waves through her sexual, emotional side, that she's not used to a man who values himself this way. And then she will notice that your attention isn't easily available. And she realizes that you're not reacting, you're choosing. And when she sees that, she's got to put the work in. I know y'all saying work. You mean like punching a clock? No, man. What does working for you look like, bruh? She starts dressing better around you, trying to capture or recapture something in you. She always going to start initiating contact, sending you text messages, memes, ass pictures, titty pictures, videos, and everything. Reaching out to you, trying to plan the day and asking you what you have going on because she wants to be a part of your day. She becomes really, really caring and thoughtful, bringing some kind of value that she always had hidden and is like an unlockable. She starts cooking for you. He starts doing things to show that, you know what, I am useful to you. Drop something on the floor around her, watch her pick it up. She'll see 2 or 3 dishes in the sink. She'll go in there and clean it up. She starts looking at you more. She'll start asking more questions about what you are. What is your vision? What is it that you want to do? Because it is at that point you become the person she's studying. Yes, she begins to study you. She goes from being the prize to pursuing the prize because now she sees you as something that is authentic and something rare and something unmoved and something unbothered and something unfazed, because your attention is no longer given, it's earned. And it's these are the things that make you so valuable. And they are drawn to that like a drug, and they sense you a person who sees himself, who loves himself. And guess what? It's just a beautiful move. And why is this power so great? Why is this a power move, gentlemen? Because the moment she starts working for you, you've won everything. She begins to question her own self. She starts asking herself, am I doing enough for him? Waking in the middle of the night, like with cold sweats, wondering, does he still want me? How can I be more of what he desires? Because I feel like I'm losing him day by day. And those self-questioning things are the seeds of submission. She moves from the entitlement that she has with everybody else. And she is nothing but showing you everything to say, you know what? I appreciate you. And it is at this point she stops trying to test you and she starts to prove to you. But here's the beautiful thing in the game. As a man, you must hold the line. Man, dog, you can't fake this, bro. You can't sit back into that people-pleasing mood because you starting to feel something for her. Because guess what? She's going to do everything she can to make you feel. And if she can get you to snap back, she's going to go back to the dictatorship. You cannot fall into this. You got to hold the line just because she's showing you more effort. And if she senses that her new behavior is winning your approval and you drop your standards again, she's already going to stop working. And you will never, ever be respected again. See, gentlemen, you're not a reward for how she looks. You are a reward for who you are to yourself. Thus, she is a reward for your discipline and how you have your standards and how you see yourself. So you have to stay the course and let her do the work. Because the more she invests in you, the more she's going to be attached to you. And the more she attaches herself to you, the more she's going to submit to you. And this isn't about games. This is about a connection of the unrecognizable. Because when a man unlocks her unrecognizable, he becomes the center of her universe. And everything else starts to revolve around him. Because at that point, because she's not sitting on her throne anymore, she has to reposition herself. Because now that she's working for your attention, guess what? She has to go to the next phase and she has to adjust who she is, or she's going to lose access to you completely. You see, man, when a woman feels the weight of your standard, she has two choices: to elevate who she is or to exit. And once a woman realizes she's no longer and has control over you, she finds herself putting in effort to win you over. And it's crazy because all this stuff happens so fast that she is not even prepared for it. Because she then begins to reposition herself. It's not because I asked. No, we don't ask, man. It's not because I beg, because I don't beg for anything. You know I don't manipulate, so you know it's not because I manipulate her. It's because when you are one thought, one mind, one way, your standards speak louder than the words ever could. And as a man, you don't lower yourself. You are the bar. And now she is going to either reach that bar or she's going to lose out. But just like everything, what does that repositioning look like? She starts watching you more closely, and not with judgment, but curiosity, and just watches you and studies you, watches what you tolerate and watches what you won't tolerate. Man, I promise you, hey man, you'll be sleeping in the bed and you like on cloud 9 chilling. And you're going to feel this. It's going to be this weird feeling that you're going to feel like somebody's watching you. And you're going to open your eyes and you're going to feel her right above you, staring at you with tears rolling down her face because she's so caught up in you. She's like, damn, you mean everything to me. She sees you, that she sees things in you. She sees that you're not the type of a person that is not going to get caught up in curves, compliments, or you're never going to be confused by emotions because you're locked in to who you are. And all of a sudden she stops doing what she used to do with the average human, the tests, the digs, the lies, the manipulation, the control, dangling the pussy, playing games, the roller coasters, and everything in between, because none of that works. And now she has to adjust. She becomes more feminine around you, more thoughtful around you, kinder around you. She stops trying to dominate and she starts learning this weird thing that only her emotions can trigger. And that is her focusing on you, gentlemen, on you. Everything becomes so beautiful. She has to adjust. She has to become more feminine and all these things. And all these things are the best part because this is a thing that most men miss. A woman wants to feel like she has to bring the best to keep you around. Let that fucking sink in. And if she feels like she can do whatever she wants and say whatever she wants and however she wants, you'll be the one still begging for her, whatever's between her legs or whatever. She'll never respect you. She might keep you around, yeah. She might sleep with you, but she's going to use you and she's never going to truly submit to you. And this is why everything is important, because when she feels this way about you, what she's saying is, I don't need you. Okay. All right. But when you're that guy, you can say to her, I don't need you because I'm the standard. And if you want in, you got to get and do everything to get in, or you got to get out. And that's it. That's why, because it's going to make her feel two things at the same time. It's going to make her feel challenged, man. It's going to make her feel safe, because women aren't looking for emotional doormats. They're looking for direction. They're looking for a man that has value and structure, and a man who will never take the knee. And why is this so crucial? Because see, when a woman repositions herself, her whole entire strategy of dominating men changes, because she moves from, what can I get from him, to how can I access him? And this is where the power flips. And this is when she starts listening instead of debating. This is when she starts to be more caring versus demanding. This is when she begins to follow you instead of trying to challenge your authority and your throne. She begins really, treating the time that you have. Any time that you have, she's going to treat it like it's a rare, rare, rare jewel or a rare asset. Excuse me. Because here's the thing. You don't have to force it, because she's weird is she's going to see that you become it. And that's the difference between those who get used and those who are honored. And when you hold that line, okay, because she doesn't know how to reposition herself and align with your standards, you let her walk, you let her go. We don't deal with disorder and chaos, because we are nothing but structure. And if she can't fit into that structure, she's got to go. Which gets to the last point, the very last one. Well, not the last one, second to the last. I'd say the last one, but Get to the last one. Let's make this the last one because there's so many. There's so many. There's so many. So let's just move ahead and get to 4 instead of 5 because we've been on way too long, dog. She is not only going to fall in love with you, but she's going to fall in love with the standard that you have. At this point, you have shifted her whole entire universe. And you're no longer trying to seek her approval, and you're no longer trying to prove your worth. You are the worth, and you are the approval because you are the standard. And she's in love with it. And understand, you gotta pick up what I'm putting down because most women are used to men who adjust themselves to keep the women around. They dim their own light. Everything. They pull their bar down. They overextend. And as a result, what she does is she uses them, tolerates them, and then throws their asses back in the water. But when you become locked in with this game, one thought, one mind, one way, man, what does it look like when she loves you? She stops expecting your entire universe to bend to her. And she starts to figure out, how can I fit into your world? She watches how you treat yourself, how you actually move, think, and protect your time, and how you discipline yourself and how you move. She studies everything. She, like I said before, she asks fewer questions. None of this, what do you want from me? It's, how can I be the woman that deserves you? Tell me, what is it I can do? Can I help you with anything? Do you need anything? You become something that she's not used to because you become her test. You're not controlling her because, see, on a deeper level and a deeper truth to all this, she just doesn't love the man. She loves the man's laws. She loves the man's rules. She loves the man's codes and principle. She falls for the way that you govern yourself because she's never been around someone who has governed themselves like you. And once she falls in love with your standard, you don't have to remind her how to act. You don't have to correct her behavior. She self-adjusts and self-corrects, self-reflects, and self-improves. Not for validation from you, not out of fear from you, but out of respect for who you are and the opportunity to be beside a man who doesn't move like the rest. And this is what every average guy dreams of and never achieves at all. The woman that wants to grow for him, not just with him. But this doesn't happen when you're soft, agreeable, and dependent on pussy. It happens when you live by the code of the game and when your standards are carved into this. And when you look at everything and your patience demands that she evolves, your presence demands everything because you are patient enough to wait for her to evolve, but your presence is going to say, if you don't, I'm gone. You are more than just potential. She's going to see you as evolution. She falls for the standard, man. She doesn't fall for the man. She grows. She'll love you once she realizes she can't control you. That's what I'm saying. Her obsession begins with your standard. And your standard at this point is that I'm never going to please her again. Let me know what you guys think, man. Holler at me in the comments. We're going to move on to chapter 3.